It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, Southern Missouri. It is Thursday, September 30, 2021. We're going
Beautiful
into
morning.
The final quarter of the year.
And no rain this morning.
No rain. Can you believe that?
I know.
thought
I
for
was
sure.
expecting it last night and through this morning, and so far so good. So
Yeah.
we've got some coming in. I mean, don't get me wrong.
We need rain. Let me tell you, we need some rain. We'll do the drought monitor tomorrow. They'll update the drought monitor about 8 o'clock Eastern time today, and we'll put that on tomorrow on the intro. Anyway, it is the last day of September, the final quarter.
It
coming.
is.
Can you
It
believe
is.
that? Wow.
It is.
Yeah, a lot of activities coming up, real quick. Let's plug this real quick. The DAV 16th Annual Veterans Appreciation Outreach Picnic is Saturday, October 2nd. October 2nd is the day after tomorrow, because tomorrow's October 1. Starts at 11 o'clock, opening ceremony, and then 11 to 1, performance by Katie Lane Project, 2 p.m., Mr. Cabbage Head and the Screaming Radishes. A great band's going to be out there. A lot of activities for our veterans, all veterans, Arkansas, Missouri, come on in.
And it's free.
And it's free. Other states, Oklahoma, Tennessee, come on in. Love to have everybody. It's going to be good. Yeah. All right, Thursday, September 30. Wow, can you believe it?
I know. It's went quick. It's just weird. It's going by so fast.
Now, y'all are broadcasting football from Greenwood this week.
Yes.
Bombers at Greenwood
Yes,
over the Fort
we
Smith
will be
area.
in
This is what
Greenwood.
game? This is fourth game? Fifth? Fourth?
This will be the fourth. I think
game.
we've got 6 more. We've got Greenwood, and then we're we go
You
right
gotta-
back out there.
You
Van
got to go
Buren.
across the road.
Yeah, we're traveling again. But then we've got 2 home games, and then I think we only got 1 more away game in Russellville, and then we're home again, and that's it.
Wow. All right, the Bomber Squad is going to be with the TV cameras. It's XL7 TV, brings you the best coverage. And they're going to be at Greenwood with the pregame with Bob Rectenwald at 6 with play-by-play starting at 7 this Friday night from Greenwood, Arkansas, which is, for folks that don't know, that's the Fort Smith area.
And it's supposed to be raining,
Yeah.
so they given us a booth this time. Last time, if you remember at the Greenwood, we were in the stands on the visitors' side. And let me tell you, we got cameras on the scoreboards, and then we've got cameras on the screens. And every time the crowd gets rowdy and starts jumping up and down, you no longer can
Here
see
goes
my
the
scoreboard.
cameras, yeah.
So that should correct this time.
right.
They are putting us in a press box.
All right, Bombers, go Bombers, beat Greenwood this Friday night. There you go. Hey, we're enjoying Brewed Awakening Coffee. You can do the same thing with 3 locations to serve you the best coffee in town. Brewed Awakening Coffee, like Mike says, is, hey, man, we are real coffee. You want real coffee, have Brewed Awakening. It is the best coffee in town. 3 locations to serve you the best coffee in town. Baxter Regional Medical Center's main entrance lobby. And follow the COVID-19 guidelines there. And then, of course, Bomber Boulevard. And at 7:03 in the morning, Bomber Boulevard will be getting busy with faculty, staff, administration, and students going into the high school, junior high, and, of course, the main office of the Mountain Public Schools. Then you got 62 East Plaza out in front of Anytime Fitness, and they're ready to go, too.
Or you got right here, you can get the maximum strength version.
You get the adult dose right here. Brewed Awakening Coffee.
How's the coffee there, Judge? He's like, outstanding. I don't know what you're talking about. This doesn't affect me at all. This coffee's fine. I don't know.
Brewed Awakening Coffee. They have mochas, lattes, frappuccino. And then I've got a friend in Flippin', and she likes her pumpkin spice, and
All your foo-foo flavors.
and then they got cinnamon rolls and scones and turnovers and muffins. They've got it all.
That's the important stuff.
That's the important stuff. Check them out, Brewed Awakening Coffee. Like Mike says at Brewed Awakening, hey, man, we are real coffee. I remember when he started with just a little coffee service across from Flashbacks on the main drag through town. Now he's got 3 major locations, Hospital, Bomber Boulevard, and 62's Plaza area. Bomber Boulevard and 62 Plaza, they have dual drive-thrus. You can go on either side of the little coffee building. And so, and they'll get you right in and right out. There's very, very little waiting for Brewed Awakening Coffee. And the advantage is you don't have to park at the grocery store to go in and get your coffee. So check them out. Brewed Awakening Coffee is the very best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and his staff do a great job at all 3 locations. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bringing the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes, 29 in the state of Arkansas with 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Here in town, talk to Bruce, Brad, Charlotte, Chris, anyone else there can help you. They'll visit with you about pre-planning, or if you have someone that's passed away, friend, family member, loved one, whatever it may be. With all respect, is how they do business on a daily basis. And it's a tough job. I couldn't do it. I admit it. I can't do it. And but they're very gifted people, and they handle it very, very well. Roller Funeral Homes all across the state of Arkansas and in western Tennessee. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, they bring you the morning prayer each and every day. So let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, one thing I've noticed since COVID took over the world is how lazy some of our churches have become. Not all of them, but some have played this COVID stuff just to not work to reach and help people. 10 years ago, churches would have morning Bible studies, Sunday evening activities, and even Wednesday evening family activities. These same churches now have a Sunday morning service, then go home until next Sunday. Sports programs by churches are now non-existent. Lord, we the people of our churches, respected churches, should be reaching out to those that are ill, grieving, hurting, or struggling. But we've hid behind a mask so long, no one knows who we are anymore. Lord, relight the pilot lights in our churches. It's time to get off our butts and work to help people, not hide, but to rebuild your church. Please rebuild your church, Lord, is my prayer today. Amen. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring you on prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
And now,
here it comes.
Dun, 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 the weather.
One more day this week.
One more day.
That's the advantage
One more
of the weekend.
lucky day for you.
No trumpet on Saturday and Sunday.
Should have the judge sit up here and made him do the trumpet. Yeah. Really put myself under the bus.
Then once he becomes lieutenant governor, you've had it.
Yeah.
Remember that guy that made me do the trumpet on TV at Mountain Home? Go get him.
Hey, I've got everybody else. It's backfired, though. I pay higher taxes than most people now. No.
Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. The website retireToArkansas.net. And it's time to take a look at the White River. Oh my goodness, very pretty this morning. Cloud cover and everything. Got a beautiful shot this morning. It just seems like there's a little bit more contrast in it this morning. You see more definition on the bridge, left side of the screen, 62-412 bridge on the left side of the screen. And of course, the White River separates Marion County from Baxter County. The little clearing there is the baseball park, railroad museum, picnic area there at Cotter, Arkansas. And so a lot of good friends in Cotter. Right there this morning, you see Contractors Trust. The lights are on in the building there on the right-hand side of the screen. While you're at retireToArkansas.net enjoying the White River, don't forget you got the little camera icon there in the lower right-hand side of the screen. You can take a picture, still frame, I should say, of the live webcam, share it with family and friends, and use it for screensavers or backdrops on your devices. But while you're at retireToArkansas.net, you can check out all the listings with the Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, and all the listings with Century 21 Lemac Real Estate, and also all MLS numbers, the multiple listing service numbers in this area, both in Arkansas and Missouri. Now, the Z-Team is ready to serve you today. Call them at 870-405-0793, retireToArkansas.net. Realtors you recommend to a friend. The award-winning Z-Team, they've won the most prestigious award in the Century 21 Corporation 2 years in a row from outstanding service. For it's just all through before, during, and after the sale, the follow-up, the public relations. And don't forget, the Z-Team's also involved in the community, both in Marion County and Baxter County. They just reach out to help all kinds of people. Bob and Linda Zadora, realtors you recommend to a friend. The Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, 870-405-0793. Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Right now, 69 in Mountain Home, 67 in Harrison, it's 70 in Batesville, 68 at Yellville, 70 in Marshall, 69 in Salem, we're bouncing back and forth, 70 in Mountain View, then back down to 69 in West Plains, and around the region, Springfield at 70, Poplar Bluff, Missouri at 68, well, it's 64 in St. Louis, and in contrast, hey guys, in North Dakota, it's 54 degrees, and good morning up there. Got two boys working up there. And let's see, severe outlook isn't going to affect us. This is in southwest Texas, so it's not going to hurt us over here right now. Going to the radar, we do have shower activity on the radar, and some of it's in Arkansas. Let's start out in the west coast area, up in the northwest part of the country, from Seattle down to Portland, back over to Spokane, Washington. We've got shower activity. Northeast part of the country, you've got some activity in Maine going on up into Quebec. Now, in the main part of the country, we've got it in Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, parts of Minnesota, and scattered showers around Nebraska and South Dakota. Closer to home, here we go.
Now, pretty much all that's running northwest, so that's actually making its way over to us.
Yeah. Hope so. We need some rain. We really do. Here's what we got in Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. You can see the region, then back over into Oklahoma from Oklahoma City north there. So going into Arkansas, heavier showers to the east of Mountain Home right now. That will affect Highway 62 east. Some shower activity showing up in Marion County. That'll affect Highway 62 and 412 going west. You see shower activities down towards Batesville, Searcy on 167 and 67. Jonesboro to Memphis, Interstate 555, Interstate 55, going to be affected by these showers as well. West of Mountain Home, 62, 412, not too bad. In the western side of the state, I-49, I-40 west of Little Rock, no problems there. North of I-40 around Russellville, the Hattieville area, places like that along Highway 65. You will have some shower activity on Highway 65 going to Branson at some point in time if you're going from Little Rock to Branson. Going up into Missouri, you can see it there across Missouri state line, not quite to Poplar Bluff, but it will be affecting Highway 67 from Pocahontas to Poplar Bluff. US 160 west of Poplar Bluff to Branson, not much on 60 west of Poplar Bluff towards Springfield, and basically nothing on Highway 67 from Poplar Bluff to St. Louis. Interstates in Missouri, 55, 44, 49, 70, and 35 all seem to be in good shape. Southern Illinois, not too bad this morning. No rain over there. Interstate 64 from East St. Louis, Illinois east, and then I-57 down to Cairo, Paducah, Kentucky, and I-24. And then Union City, Tennessee on US 51 south of Dyersburg, not too bad, but you do have some shower activity on the I-40 from Memphis to Jackson, and that will affect US 412 a little bit around the Jackson area. On the national map, flood watch boxes in New Mexico and in Kansas, and that's about it. And 7-day forecast, rain. Just basically we got a chance of rain all the way through Sunday afternoon. Then Monday be high of 77 with bright sunshiny skies. Checking iDrive Arkansas, we got a little bit of slow traffic in the Memphis area.
Now I know it looks bigger on that, but when you zoom in, it's really
it's just a short. I think it's US 51.
No, it's where the 55 exit.
Oh, is it?
55 south cuts off of 240 is where it's slowed down.
Yeah.
It looks like a big red line. It's not when you zoom in.
Yeah.
It's just a little slow right there on that exit.
Oh, now we got one on, looks like on 430 over here at Little Rock. A little bit of slower traffic, and maybe rain-related, who knows. But most of the traffic moving good. Texarkana, Fort Smith to Bentonville, Little Rock area, Jonesboro area, Memphis area. Take a look at City of Mountain Home real quick. We'll look at Cardinal Drive. There we go. Cloud cover in the city, and you can see Century 21 Lemac Real Estate here. The Golden Arches over here.
See, it's getting a little darker coming in on that side.
Yeah, it is. It sure is, yeah. And then let's see, we'll take a look down the hill. We'll look the opposite direction. This is going to be looking into the city from the top of the hill. Clay Maxey Chevrolet right in here. You see Baxter Regional Medical Center among the mountains here. And some pretty good cloud cover with some traffic on the east side of town. And one of those spots we'll check, Mammoth Springs, Arkansas. Folks on the NEXT fiber optic network, the cable network from North Arkansas Electric Cooperative. Look at this in downtown Mammoth Springs. This is US 63. You're looking north. This car right here just come out of Mammoth Springs from 9 to 63. And look at the rain here. This is the state park at Mammoth Springs. You see the Spring River to the left. Right up here on top of the hill is the state of Missouri. So you're actually looking into South Missouri from Mammoth Springs, Arkansas this morning. And they've got some pretty good showers going on in Mammoth Springs. It's only about 45, 50 miles from here. Send it our way, please, Mammoth Springs. We need it here. All right, checking Missouri. No watches or warnings yet. It's the usual construction and maintenance items going on, but no flood watch boxes. Pollen count today is 3.1, 3.6 tomorrow. Sagebrush, chenopod's, and ragweed are your culprits. Lake levels. Norfolk Lake at 553.75. Well, Bull Shoals is at 657.92. Crude oil prices, there you go, 74.75. Ooh, man, thank you, Joe Biden, for that one. Okay, Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 91 points, closing at 34,390.72. Wow. Don't forget about the Dream Network. Oh, let's, real quick, got to get the COVID report in there. We're not doing too bad north central Arkansas. Real quick, we got 13 counties. It goes from Jackson, Woodruff, back up into Independence County, back over to Marion. 13 counties with 61 out of 13 counties with 300,000 population, only 61 in the hospital, 16 ICU, and 10 on ventilators.
Went up just a little bit.
Yeah, we went up one. Don't forget about the Dream Network, dreamnetwork.org. If you can help them financially, go to dreamnetwork.org, hit the donate button. The Dream Network is, they help children and families in need, mainly women and children in desperate situations. They reach out to help them. They've bought several air conditioners this year due to the heat and humidity to help folks that didn't have proper air conditioning. And you can read their story right here. Marla Lucas, our good friend at KADI in Springfield, is their CEO. And she works very, very hard to help women and children in need. They believe the children have a voice to give to reach their God-given dreams. Don't forget about the Dream Network. If you can help them financially, dreamnetwork.org, hit the donate button. Web and paper designer, good friend David Stroud comes in here every so often and will help Scooter out on the directing activities. He now has web and paper design. He does graphic design, brand identity, and what we do. To contact him, go to webandpaperdesign.com, hit contact us, or you can call him at 404-4433. And he's done some outstanding work for a lot of people already in the Mountain Home area. So once again, web and paper design, graphic design, brand identity. You can go to webandpaperdesign.com and get a hold of David, and he will help you. Come up on 7/16, we've got Judge Wood from Washington County is our guest. Going to be running for Lieutenant Governor. It's going to be I'm thrilled to have him on the show today. And after the break, he'll be on. So be right back.
Live Bomber football is back on XL7 TV with announcers Bob Rechtenwald and Josh Kaminsky, bringing you the best in play-by-play. Watch every game live on XL7 TV or online at xl7tv.com/football. Every Friday night, watch the Bombers live, whether you are at the game or not. Also, enjoy a meal, drink, and watch the Bombers on XL7 TV live at the following restaurants every Friday night, only on XL7 TV. It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home. Get the only mower with suspension technology at Mower Warehouse in Mountain Home, where they accept mower trade-ins, have flexible financing options, and services all brands and models. That's Mower Warehouse, located on Buzzard Roost in Mountain Home.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Hi, it's Bob Zadora of the Z Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. As you know, we are all facing some unusual times. Be calm. Be smart. The business world of real estate will continue. We may have some delays and some changes that are out of our control, but life will go on, and this too will pass. Give thanks for this wonderful country that we live in. Give thanks for the neighbors that we share. If there's anything we can do to give you a hand, give us a call. 870-405-0793. And check out our website, retiredtoarkansas.net.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionaire Barbershop today.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you're 7:20, I'm very honored to have this gentleman on, Joseph Wood, who's the Washington County Judge, Washington County Judge. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that's the Fayetteville area. And of course, welcome to Mountain Home. Welcome to XL7 TV. It's good to have you on the show.
Oh, good to see you and glad to be here. And you and Mr. Scooter, good to have you and see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us down.
And I got him off on the wrestling thing about 15 before 7. I thought, let's just put
You
the
get me
cameras
on the wrestling, I get worked up. So we'll just.
I love my
I got to
wrestling.
tell you real quick, we got a mutual friend, Bruce Emerson,
Yes.
said hi.
Yeah, he sent me a note this morning.
I got to tell you, ding, about 5:55. Tell
That's
Judge
good.
Wood hi. I said, okay,
That's-
Bruce, I'll do it.
He's a good one. He really is.
So tell us about who you are and, county judge. I mean, you got a big responsibility
my.
being county judge in Washington County.
Wow. So we'll start there.
Sure.
Washington County obviously encompasses the home of the Razorbacks, and 4-0. We just had to throw that little plug in, and the Hogs will beat the Dogs this weekend.
You betcha.
I'm
Yes.
just gonna call that. And I have to plug my daughter, who's my youngest. I got 3 daughters, and my youngest dances for the Hogs. So
Oh, really?
she's
Good.
when you
Awesome.
see that kid up there who looks as good as her mom and dances like her dad, that's
There you
my
go.
kid. But anyway, we have 250,000 people over there in Washington County, and this is my second term. We were elected in 2016, had more votes than President Donald Trump. It was a pretty big to-do. First Republican in 38 years to be elected
Congratulations.
there, and so it was a big to-do. And we did all that in 89 days. So it was a historic type of election because you don't run an election in 89 days or something as big as a county
That's a
as
miracle.
Washington County. It really was.
We got some people starting 2 years in
And
advance.
exactly right.
You know.
Prior to that, I was a deputy secretary of state, so I was down in Little Rock for about 7 years, helping work through elections and
Under
helping
Mark
us.
Martin or
Under
John?
Mark Martin.
Under
Mark
Mark,
Martin
yeah.
and I went in at the same time. We got
Really?
sworn in, and Mark he said he was running for secretary, and if he won, he wanted me to be his deputy, and I said, "You guys will pay me to do the stuff I've been doing all this? Are you serious?" Then when I got my paycheck, I'm like, it's not really any pay. But you don't do it for the pay. You do it to
I
do the
think
service.
Mark got really disappointed in the political process.
Absolutely
though.
right.
I mean, I've talked to him several times, and you talk about some of our Republican people. I called Mark one time. I said, Mark, I got a question. I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm putting brakes on my Dodge Durango.
That's exactly.
He's out in his driveway putting brakes on.
He's one of the most brilliant guys I know.
yes.
He is
That
super
engineering
smart.
mind,
In
engineer-
fact, we went to the Capitol together, and we're sitting here talking about game plan, strategy, mission, vision, values. And Mark starts talking. He said, I wonder when was the last time they changed the heating and ventilation system in this building, in this Capitol. He started walking in that engineering mode.
Yeah.
And boy, guess what? We started changing because they hadn't changed it in decades. Well, we started seeing the energy savings because of that.
Wow.
But he was smart enough to put other folks who weren't an engineering mind, and it just really, and that Capitol has been phenomenal, the building, physical building, and then the work that we did. I think our work and my work working with the elections and getting new election equipment, overnight reporting, businesses, cutting red tape. So Mark really set the pace and allowed us to really get in there, roll up our sleeves, and change the dynamics of the Secretary of State's office.
And I'm sitting here thinking, when I remember when Mark ran,
Oh, yeah.
and we were doing radio at the time, and he came up and we visited, became friends. But, and like I say, I think he was very disappointed in the political process because I don't care what party you are, you're going to have influences, whether you're Republican or Democrat.
correct.
There's going to be those influences that'll tempt you to go one way or the other. And I think he saw people that he thought he could trust.
That's right.
That he finally figured out he couldn't. And that hurts.
It does. He was a legislator, so he got to know some of those folks
Yeah.
at that level. And I think, and that's the big piece when we have three branches of government, and as a legislator, you're writing laws and you're putting things together and you're passing those things. But then he goes on the other side as an executive and administrator, and that means you're taking care of everybody. You're not writing a law that may be not slanted or anything, but you come in with that perspective. That's how you were elected. That's why you were elected. But now as an administrator and executive, you're taking care of all of it.
Yeah.
And so the employees that you had, we had over, I don't know, 200 plus folks there, 250 folks when we first came in, and how do you serve them, and where all of them were in a different party, and they were hired by different people. So you got to balance all that. You got to balance budgets. And so that's the difference in my now running for lieutenant governor is as an executive, as an administrator working at the Deputy Secretary of State's office, and now as a county judge. I'm like a mini governor. Most of your county judges, that's
exactly
what we do.
Right, yeah.
We declare emergencies. We're responsible for the public safety of a county, and veterans responsibility. Everything that the governor does, we do the exact same thing
in the county,
at the county level.
Yeah, I've got to open
yes,
Pandora's box because we got several minutes before the first break comes up. My opinion, this is just this is just my opinion. COVID-19. Step one, we overreacted.
I think you're right.
And step two, and I'm not in the governor's, I'm not in Asa Hutchinson has sat in that very chair. Right. You've got 75 counties, you got 75 judges, you got people in those counties that are educated. Let them handle it on the local level.
That's right.
If you need the state to be involved, call and ask for help.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Again, the role that I play, most people won't know this, but I declare an emergency, a county emergency in August for all the home games. Most people go to the home games and don't think twice about being in Fayetteville, but when you get 75,000 people in Fayetteville inside that stadium, that's a lot of public safety awareness and caution that you need to take precautions for. Well, the governor can't declare that emergency. I have to declare an emergency, and by doing that, I can pull in and bring in Sebastian County Sheriff's Department and Van Buren and Benton County to help manage and keep the public safe in that game. The emergency was the exact same thing.
250,000 people,
That's
and then you can go almost 100,000 higher than that on a
just
Saturday.
on a Saturday. And most people go to the game, don't think about the safety piece of it, and they shouldn't, because we've managed all that. But I got it. That's my responsibility.
But see, that's what goes behind the closed doors in the county judge's office that we don't know about.
We last month and a half ago, we became the first pro-life county in the state of Arkansas. And that was a huge thing. See, and that's right, Washington County. But what that goes in the newspaper, Washington County, first pro-life county in this state. But what they don't know is I was meeting with Homeland Security, Global Counterterrorism, FBI, the Sheriff's Department, local police departments, all preparing for a meeting to pass this resolution because of so much vitriol. No one wanted to have that, especially in some of the activists. And I had to change security. We had to change email systems. Had to have the Justice of the Peace go into a different door. 4 times the level of security for that meeting, for that resolution. But now the byline is Washington County becomes the first pro-life. But again, the work that I do as a county judge and the players that I have to sit and operate, that's every day for a county judge. A legislator, again, a little different than how they operate that.
And see, what I'm looking at with the COVID thing is our superintendent was here, and during the break I said, now let me think. You get it from the parents, you get it from the Arkansas Department of Health, you get it from the NIH, the CDC,
right,
the governor's office, Department of Education. So when you get 6 different opinions on one subject, I mean, it's kind of like trying to throw a ping pong ball in here. It's going to go everywhere.
So when COVID hit March 13 of 2020, the first thing I did was pull all the elected officials together in my conference room. And then I got nervous because I thought, man, if we end up having anything, we would have knocked out the whole entire county, because I had everybody sitting in that same conference room. I said, all right, so we got to figure out how to do this in a remote fashion that we would link up. But every Monday, it was a gameplay. All right, what's going on in the sheriff's, in the jail? What's going on in the assessor's office? What's going on with all the courtrooms, all the circuit judges? And that was what we started right off the bat. And that was under my pull to say, because we're responsible, even though we may be nervous and concerned, just like everybody else, we don't know what this pandemic thing is.
No.
But people elected us to stand up in the midst of that fear anyway and lead them and help them manage their lives and all. So we did that. And then I said, I got a partner up in Benton County. Springdale, one of my cities, is dual counties. Part of
Oh,
Springdale
really?
is in Benton County.
Really?
And I said, I know I need to work with Benton County because I don't want us doing one thing in Washington County and then Benton County is doing something different.
Yeah.
Because I got a city that straddles both of them. So joined in partnership with the judge in Benton County. And next thing you know, we had Department of Emergency Management in both counties, superintendents of schools in both counties, Chamber of Commerce is in both counties. We had over 85 members every week, twice a week, as a joint county COVID task force, managing the COVID for this region up there in Northwest Arkansas to help people manage through that. Yes, we would get our reports. We would have our county health departments giving us information. Obviously, the governor was doing his daily information as well. But that's how we managed it. It was I think a tremendous success when we did that. And in fact, the Marshall East community is pretty big, second largest Marshall East community next to the Marshall Island. It's in Washington County.
Really?
And so their culture is very different. And so we end up bringing, the CDC end up coming in and spending time. That's not any entity you want to come to your county, but they came because they were trying to understand why was the number so high in that community. And they spent about a month there. After they left, their bosses, the Department of Health and Human Services, came in and Judge, they spent Monday morning, 7 o'clock, Judge, how did you manage? How did they do? CDC came in. You guys really turned the corner on that. And we walked for about an hour talking about a lot of that. And then after they said, hey, do you know anybody at the University of Arkansas we can talk to? Then we would like to go spend some time with some chamber people if you know some of those. And as they're asking me, I said, well, I meet every week with about 85 of these guys. I can reconvene that meeting. She said, 85? I said, 2 counties. Are you serious? Pulled them all together. The Department of Health and Human Services was just blown away. They talked about traveling across the country for hot spots, and they said, we can't get 2 cities next to each other to talk, and you guys got 2 counties and chambers and schools and business working together.
Bring it
She
together.
said, this
That's
is the
leadership.
model.
That's
She
what we
said,
call leadership.
that's we need to take this across the country. So we take that for granted, but they didn't, and so I'm pretty proud of what I was able to accomplish in that.
Here's the hospital report, and I'll bring up Northwest Arkansas, and I can see there's some differences. There's 90 admissions in Northwest Arkansas, and that starts at Marion, that starts at Boone County.
Yeah.
90, 85 ICUs, and only 33 in ventilators. Only 30. I mean, Washington County, 250,000. You've only got, and that's Washington County, Washington, Benton, Sebastian.
That's right.
33
Carroll,
events. You're doing good.
That's right.
You're doing good. That's great leadership. That's proven. I mean,
that's exactly right.
Proven leadership.
That's our mantra. That's exactly right. Fighting for what's possible in Arkansas.
Wow. Okay, 7:32. We're going to grab that break and give us a little bit longer time to talk during the next segment. So more with Judge Wood right after this. When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we've installed a convenient pickup window for all your to-go and pickup orders, as well as a covered outdoor seating area. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties or big events. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Come up 7:35, Judge Wood here from Washington County Judge. Okay, we talked about this on the phone. Everybody gets this question. You got a genie in the bottle. You get 3 wishes, and it's for the state of Arkansas. You're Lieutenant Governor.
A genie in the bottle. Wow. I think the first one would be, I do a lot with foster care and adoption, and I would love to see a genie, make sure we have enough, more than enough foster families and loving homes to get these kids out of the system. When you have kids who are in the system and they are transferring from home to home, 4 and 6 and 8 and 10 different foster families, that becomes, one, I think, traumatic, and it does change the kids without them having a foundation if they're being bounced around from home to home.
And I've had some folks on the program before that one of our judges over from Marion County on the bench, and their focus was multiple children from the same family. Some went to Fayetteville, some went to DeWitt, some went to Texarkana, and the siblings don't know where they're going. Where's my brother? Where's my sister?
That's right.
You got 4 or 5 kids spread out in 4 or 5 different areas of the state.
Sure.
And you don't know where you're going.
It's heartbreaking. And I come out of the system. I don't know if you know that, Dale. I was a foster kid until I was 10, and then I was adopted at 10 years old. So it's near and dear to me. And when I look to see how many kids we have even in Arkansas, and the challenge is, even if you are a foster parent, you got to go through the training and then background check, and it's a pretty rigorous process. And some days I look at our legislators and say, you know what? People are trying to take kids out of your system, and it's like you're trying to put them in the system. And some people just get frustrated because of working with some of the things that they have to with the Department of Human Services and DCFS, that they say, forget it, I'll just go and adopt a kid out of China or India, and we got kids right here. So I really would want, that would be one to really have enough foster families and get those kids into a permanent loving family, a permanent family as soon as possible without them going through the different
and one of my platforms on the show, and Scooter probably gets tired of hearing about it, we have domestic violence, which is prevalent, and of course with that comes some, not as much child abuse, but we also work with the human sex trafficking issues.
That's right.
We do have a safe house here for victims.
Wow, excellent.
Because you've got Branson nearby.
That's right.
And believe it or not, Tulsa, Oklahoma is a hot spot.
Wow. Well, Northwest has quite a bit of trafficking going on.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, you're on I-49 at I-40.
Absolutely
you go
right.
north on 49, south on 49, 40, then you get pick up 44 to Tulsa.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So that'd be one. I think number 2 would be all around. My mother was an educator, the one who adopted me, and always talked about education being the key to free you and get you to wherever you're trying to go. You may be not have some of the dollars, you may not have some of the opportunities in the very initial piece, but you getting an education will free you to do and be whatever you want. And so if we could really focus on, and I had that genie work on education opportunities for us, because that translates into skilled workforce, that translates to economic development. And to see Arkansas move in economic development, we got to have a educated workforce,
and with that,
especially at the high school
here's
level.
What happened to me. Back in 1968, I was 10 years old. I was at First Baptist Church, Fairview Heights, Illinois. My interest was in sound system stuff. This was the largest Southern Baptist church in the state by attendance at that time. There were 600 to 700 people per Sunday morning. They allowed me at 10 years old
to go in there
to do sound system. But back then, there's only 6 channels. How can you mess up 6 channels when only 3 were used? But nevertheless, they trusted me, and they said, "You thinking?" They talked to Dad. To this day,
look at this.
To this day, now I've done 35 different mixing consoles.
Wow, that's right.
Listen, educators, listen to the kid.
Absolutely right.
What's their interest? And I think with
right.
Mountain Home Public Schools, you're going to see they have it's the academies. They've got health, engineering. What's the other? Help me out here, Scott.
I don't know all of them, but there's
some of the science and
they have so many opportunities for their kids to do what they have a passion in.
And then they have a program here set up where after high school you can actually go the 2 years at Arkansas State free of charge.
Also, yes,
I see some juniors and seniors that have already got 8 to 10 hours accomplished in college.
Wow! Well, before they even go there.
Yeah,
that's awesome. We got to introduce the trades again. The vocational, technical was big when we were growing up. You had to take some basics because, again, everybody's not cut to be and made to go to college.
See, I wasn't.
And I'm
a hands-on guy. And what happened to me is when I was 16 years old, I hired in at Sears. Remember Sears
Oh,
Roebuck
yeah.
Company?
Out of Chicago.
Yeah,
exactly Illinois.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Boy, had a very good, well, we still have a very good store here, but
That's
at the
right.
time it was company owned. But when I was 19, 20 years old, they said, we're going to start doing front end alignments in the garage. You want to do it? I said, yeah, I'll do it.
Wow.
So they trained me, take apart a front end, put it back together, realign it, and drive the car.
Well, we
I did
need
that for years.
We need that. And if you talk to all 75 county judges, guess what we need? We're not having to have a college degree, master's degree to come and help us build those roads and build those bridges. And so having someone who can drive and make sure they're heavy equipment operators, and you got to have some of that. Plumbers, my wife don't want me working on plumbing.
Tap into the common sense of the people.
Absolutely right.
We look at these buildings downtown where his restaurant once was. These buildings were built back before 1900. They're still standing. How many storms have come through? There's still, there's no engineering degree on these buildings.
That's right. That's right. All right, and then the third one I think would be little idealistic, which is I look around the world and I think the world still sees America as this bastion of hope, this beacon of hope and light. We got issues in this country, no ifs, ands, buts about it, but the rest of the world still sees that this is a place that they can come, be, do, and have that they can't be, do, and have in their countries. And so with that, I would like the genie to help say, Arkansas, you can be the beacon of hope for the country. Yeah. When it comes to leadership and opportunity, it's always Arkansas. When they start thinking about veteran services, I want them thinking about Arkansas. When we're thinking about infrastructure and how we do private-public partnerships, I want them thinking Arkansas. When we start talking about education freedom, they're thinking about Arkansas. Economic freedom,
Dan Hall
Arkansas.
From here. I need to introduce you. Dan Hall. He's been working with Senator John Bozeman and Tom Cotton for years. Some of the programs that are now national originated from Mountain Home.
I love it. And that's what I'd like to see. I did that in Washington County. In fact, I've been there again 2 terms, and my tag in my emails, it says Washington County leading Arkansas. Yeah. And my vision for Washington County when I was running was that Washington County be the exemplary county when it comes to leadership and services. Our mission every day to my directors, got 15 directors like the governor has 15 secretaries. I have 15 directors, and my mission for them was that they're going to be exemplary in leadership and services in their own respective areas. So when it comes to road department, I want people around the state thinking about, let's talk to the road department up in Washington County, because that guy knows what he's doing, or that gal knows what she's doing, and look at the services that they're providing. And when you start talking about Department of Emergency Management, our animal shelter, our veteran services, we're premier, and we are, and that's what I want for the rest of the state. That's what I want to see in Arkansas. That's my vision for Arkansas, to be an exemplary state when it comes to leadership and opportunity. And I've been delivering on that. So,
so with your dreams and your visions for Arkansas for the next 4 to 8 years, and then of course, as lieutenant governor, there's always the chance you can become something more than likely governor. So the next basically 16 years, which would go into 2037, 2038. There's some visions there. How do you overcome the adversities between the political parties?
Sure.
And I see it in the Republican Party. It's like, really? You got an R behind you.
That's right.
If you're a Democrat and you decide, I'm going to change Republican, don't just change the cover on the book.
That's right.
This book can say Holy Bible, and I can put a cover on it saying it's Blondie Comics.
That's right.
It's still the scriptures behind the covers.
So it's and that you make a great point. And again, I think I've been walking and working in that space since I've been in Arkansas. I spent years working at Walmart and bringing people to Northwest Arkansas. Northwest Arkansas wasn't always what it was. Yeah. In 95, 96, 97, when we were coming to Walmart, it was nothing up there compared to what it is now. But that, again, is working through divides, working through political differences. It's all about, again, what's going to be best for the entire region. Us going down to the Secretary of State's office, again, we're administrative, we're executives, and so we can't just take care of the politics or the elections for Republicans. We had to take care of elections for everybody. Fair and consistent elections. And so as county judge, again, I shared that I had more votes than President Trump. that meant that there were some Democrats who voted for me. And that's because they knew what kind of work and what kind of success I had prior to coming in. And so I had people hey, I went D, 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 R, D, 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 because you somehow figure out how to work with and bring folks together for the good for the county. And so now I'll be able to bring that. In fact, yesterday we were at the Capitol session that just started again, and we were talking about medical freedom. There was a big rally out there, and I spoke. And one of the things I talked about hey, we all, Democrats and Republicans, take an oath of office to a Constitution.
Yeah.
So when you go in, it's about making sure you're taking an oath to protect the rights and freedoms of those individuals that put you in office. Whatever side you're on, you got to make sure that you're standing for life, liberty, and the pursuit of. And those freedoms are not political side, it's for the entire country.
Yeah, see, the political parties were to look at the issues from 180 degrees here to 180 degrees here and bring it together to make the 360 circle.
That's correct. That's correct.
This is not a civil war, but now it's a civil war.
It is, and in some regard, it makes it good because at some point you don't have a lot of laws and things coming on because there is some of that gridlock, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because again, the government is closest to the people and less intrusive. I mean, if we can have economic freedom, meaning I can go and when this country got started, guess what? Most of these legislators, they were going home. They had farms to run, schools to run, churches to run. And now they spend all their time in D.C. Well, no, we need to spend less time in D.C. because that's less rules. Same thing in Little Rock. Yeah. Don't go there saying we had 2,500 bills filed this year. Man, that means there's 2,500 more things that's going to impede me, right? So, so we got work to do on that front. But again, remember, still the rest of the world looks at us and says, I want a piece of that. They'll come from Cuba and they're crossing Mexico. We got Afghanistan. We look around the world, but people still look and say, I still want to have some of that, what they got over there in America. And our challenge is making sure that that we stand for these freedoms and liberties. Otherwise, people say, we don't have to go to America. We can stay in our country.
Remember Will Rogers back in the early 30s? America said, the only country to go to the poor farm in an automobile.
See, that's exactly right. Exactly right. And still
some of these poor people never seen a car or truck or anything like that.
That's it.
Hey, we need to take the final break. Come up on 7:47. More with the judge right after this.
Hi, I'm Benny with Ammo Dump.
At Ammo Dump, they carry new and used firearms, large supply of shotguns, rifles, and handguns. Ammo Dump will buy, sell, or trade in your item and can special order whatever you like. They also have knives, scopes, ammo of any caliber, and provide gun cleaning and restoration. Call them today for the best competitive pricing around.
If I don't have it or can't get it because they don't make it, come and see us.
That's Ammo Dump, located next to Woodman's Package in Norfolk.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Live Bomber football is back on XL7 TV with announcers Bob Rechtenwald and Josh Kaminsky, bringing you the best in play-by-play. Watch every game live on XL7 TV or online at xl7tv.com/football. Every Friday night, watch the Bombers live, whether you are at the game or not. Also, enjoy a meal, drink, and watch the Bombers on XL7 TV live at the following restaurants every Friday night, only on XL7 TV. It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home. Get the
7:49, and we're visiting with Washington County Judge Joseph Wood, and also a candidate for Lieutenant Governor. And it's going to be an interesting race, especially this gubernatorial race. You know, and that's flip of the coin, you know.
Sure.
And I'm surprised nobody else has announced for that spot on the Republican side. And have the Democrats announced a candidate yet for the for gubernatorial? I've not heard.
Yeah, I think they got about 3, but again, most of them are there's a scientist, Chris Jones, who's announced, and he's probably going to be the lead candidate on the Democrat side. Smart guy, brilliant guy, but Chris Jones down in Jefferson County area.
Time Bluff area?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. And family's been around for a while, but again, I think it's really the Republicans to have as that space easily.
Okay, I don't want to open Pandora's box, but we need to talk about this, and this is something that it bothers me. Race relations. We get along fine.
Sure.
And I admire you, your education, and what has happened to you. You've come from Chicago to Arkansas, and you lead very well. Why would race be an issue?
Because that is a piece of sometimes party that drives that.
That hurts me.
It does. When I look, I have some of my heroes would be a Lincoln and Abraham Lincoln and a Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass, just again, another brilliant, from slavery, freed, and taught himself, educated, and became this statesman, and spends a lot of time with Abraham Lincoln to help influence him and to help the Emancipation Proclamation because of that. But he even talked about back then that the helping free blacks was a challenge because they did not want to take help from white people or white institutions. Even abolitionists who were white, they felt that as a challenge. And he said, whoa, don't get caught up because there's a white institution. If they're going to support you, let them support you. Same thing if it's a black institution. If they're going to support you and their characters then do that. Let their work, let their character. And I said, so he was laying a foundation that years later, Martin Luther King was talking about. Reverend King talked about that very thing. Let people's character speak for that.
Exactly.
And so here we go, where today we're starting this all over again, that it's race all the time, 24/7, and no one spending time looking at people's character.
And how many times have I sat at a baseball game and watched Lou Brock or Kurt Flood, and trying to think of all these people, you don't think what the race, they're playing for my team.
Sure.
And we cheer them. I mean, Willie McGee, and I'm sure there's others.
Well, you
all across the spectrum, both in all sports.
Well, and again, race is real, and people have experiences and all. But again, they're experiences with people, and if we know anything about people, people are consistently inconsistent, no matter what side of the house they're on. You got ugly, and this is now we're going to start going into a spiritual realm. Those who know and who are walking right and walking with the Lord, and those who don't. And so. And that you have that on both sides. How do you acknowledge it? How do you understand it? How do you make sure that if you don't know, a lot of it's ignorance. You don't know me, and so your perspective of me is maybe what you read on a tweet or what you saw on television. But when you get to know me, you're like, wow, that's very different than what I perceived or thought.
I had the opportunity back 9 or 10 years ago. We're in Washington with Americans for Prosperity doing radio, and a guy come up, you want to talk to Herman Cain? Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's the man.
And I've got a picture of me shaking hands with Herman Cain in Washington, D.C. What an outstanding gentleman.
He is.
Oh, my goodness.
Met him up in Iowa. He had a lot of the Godfather's pizzas, and we had some of those in Iowa. And back then, I had just become a conservative. And like I said, in 1988, I switched and became a Republican. And so he was one of those first ones to go to, and Allen Keyes. So you have some folks who've been in the trenches a long time.
But here's the thing with Herman. This was like August, September, something like that in Washington. So there's thousands of people. And in what we called Radio Row, there was 29 other radio stations. So you just go from booth to booth to booth, to talk on radio. You could be talking to Portland, Oregon, Mountain, Arkansas. You could be in St. Louis. They had radio stations all over. It turned the corner into February the following year, and they invited us to North Little Rock.
Right.
Mr. Cain was there.
No way.
I saw you in Washington last year.
He remembered. Wow. That's amazing. That's great. That's great.
I wasn't a metropolitan area radio station. I wasn't St. Louis, Memphis, or Cleveland.
You Mountain Home. Come on, dude. That's Mountain Home.
But I want people to understand that, you know, and I'm hearing your leadership capabilities, what you've done in Washington County and bring in, it's Washington and the North County is Benton.
Benton is,
and then south of you is Sebastian, right?
Sebastian,
so
to my
having
right.
to work, I'm going to bring this up on the map.
Sure.
This is his area right here, and this is, of course, the hospital map. But this is the area you're working, and you've been throwing a couple of curveballs with the knuckleballs in there, too.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. We have we got the city. You got the city of Fayetteville. You have a large liberal space there, probably one of the most liberal cities in the state. And I live there. So I know everybody. I grew up there. I mean, I raised my kids there, if you will.
So how do you handle their perspectives in...
I listen, I hear, and again, by and large, if I can use and incorporate, then I will.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. We have a mental health facility there. It's a crisis stabilization unit there. Well, a large group of those folks in Fayetteville really have been working years on trying to get some attention put on mental health. Well, the state has started working through some of that, and at one point they had a lot of mental institutions across the country. They shut them all down, and then they all went into the jail, or you see them in the streets. Well, the governor said, hey, let's build some of these, and we built 4 of them, and we have one now in Fayetteville, and it serves about 6 counties, because before I got it, I ended up writing a letter to the governor saying I got 5 counties. Their judges and their sheriffs said that they would use it. It's a facility for law enforcement officers to make an assessment on someone before they arrest them, to say, you know what, they're having a mental episode or a mental break. As opposed to taking them to jail, we'll take them to the mental health to get stabilized, get on their meds, etc. And that's been a way to kind of pull people from out of the jail, because our jail, you have a large number of people who shouldn't be in there. They got mental issues. They're not getting any help, so when they get out, guess what? The odds are high they're going to be back in there. But again, that's a way of working with those who think differently than maybe I do, but saying, well, this is a way that we can work through this, because I support the needs of our law enforcement to protect, and again, the safety is the biggest piece. We have people who could hurt themselves in the middle of a street going through a mental, so the police officers had no choice but to take them somewhere, and they take them to jail. Well, how do we help protect that law enforcement officer as well as that individual who may be going through a bipolar episode?
And see, you've just opened my eyes to a whole new parameter here that I had no realization of.
Sure.
I mean,
it's huge.
That's a good viewpoint. It really is.
And so that's how I work through it. I spend a lot of time listening to it and hear it, and then I try to assess it and then make the right call as best I know.
And so my observations this morning, what Judge Wood has said, I listen. You don't react, and you don't go out foolishly and then have to correct what's done wrong. You listen first and then act. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I have a beautiful wife named June Wood and 3 daughters, so I've been trained to listen. I've been trained to listen, because if I don't listen, guess what? I'm going to listen some more.
You're gonna listen, yeah. We've got about 2.5 minutes. If we're going to go to breakfast, we're going out to Brenda's out east of town. So if you'd like to stop by Brenda's restaurant and meet the judge, love to have somebody stop by. And what do we got? About a minute and a half. Your final thoughts, sir. And what a privilege to have you here today.
Well, I really again appreciate you guys having me. I will share that I have 2 children's books that I wrote: Saving Joy, Joey, and Adopting Joy. And it's a brief story of my upbringing. Again, I was found in the streets in Chicago as an infant, snow and ice, abandoned out in the streets, 8 degrees, snow and ice. And a Korean veteran was going to work one night, and he saw this blanket moving, and he knows there's a kid in there, and he can't see down. It's nighttime. He goes back in, wakes his wife and family, and eventually they get the police. They take me to an orphanage, and all this I found out 11 years ago. I always knew I was adopted, never knew I was abandoned and found in the streets, but I met the Caesar Johnson, who was a Korean veteran, and he tells the story that I write in these children's books. So this Lord has blessed me.
You bet. And just look at the opportunities. And there again, I don't care who you're, a man or woman, I don't care what race, whatever it may be, you've got the opportunity. You got to grab the ring on the merry-go-round.
That's it.
You got to grab that ring. Yeah. Wow.
1 minute.
Oh. Speaking of listening, I better listen to my director. Yeah, we got about 30 seconds. Once again, thank you for being here. I know it's a long trip.
Oh, sure.
And but
look forward to coming back.
Sure, you bet.
November is National Adoption Awareness Month, and so we're going to be doing a lot to kind of help promote, get the books out there again. Okay. I spend a lot of time going to schools, reading to kids. So
You
we
can see
look
what we
forward
can
to
do
doing
there.
that.
So
Absolutely.
I want to plug this real quick. We have our what I got, 20 seconds. Coming up Saturday, October 2nd, we have our Veterans Appreciation and Outreach Picnic. Starts at 11 o'clock, Arkansas State University. And the Star Spangled Banner will be performed by Leanne Jackson. 11 to 1, performed by Katie Laney Project and Mr. Cabbagehead and the Screaming Radishes at 2 p.m. And this is for all veterans. If you're in Arkansas or Missouri, come on out. Starts at 11 o'clock, Arkansas State University. And love to have folks out there. Dan Hall and everybody's worked really, really hard in getting this out. Some of the TV stations in Springfield even picked up on this. So big event coming up on Saturday. We got to run. Thank you, Judge, for being here. My pleasure to be here. Good to meet you.
Thanks to you on Scooter.
See you tomorrow.